Hello everyone. Today we have Ashwani Rawat with us. He is the founder of Transerve Technologies Private Limited. Welcome Ashwani, welcome to Founder Talks. And we would like to know more about Transerve and how you came with the idea and how you started.
Yeah, thank you, Ajay, and thank you for this opportunity. Let me begin with setting up a context on what we do. So Transerve is a platform provider for location intelligence. We allow our customers to analyze the location data, which essentially is the data which has a location as an attribute, and the data can be analyzed on top of a map to give them the idea that how the things are varying, not just in space, but in time as well. So this is what we do day in, day out. And this company was started some time back with an idea to leverage the location data which is being generated at a very fast pace. And just to give you a little idea about how much volume of data is generated these days. So every mobile phone, knowingly or unknowingly, we contribute a location, anonymized location, and that location get aggregated. So this data, let's say at a country like India level, would turn out to be a few billion points on a daily basis. Now this data can be analyzed beautifully to find out the movement of people around, what sort of people live where, what are the preferences of people, and then further analysis can be done based on demographic, socioeconomic parameters to find out which product would suit what category of people in what area. So it gives a huge opportunity for enterprises in FMCG space, retail, healthcare, to offer the right product to the right market segment.
And about you, Ashwani?
So I'm a graduate civil engineer from IIT Kanpur. I graduated in year 2007. Since then, I've been working in geospatial industry, and I spent a lot of time working with hardware companies in geospatial market. And later, I switched over my interest towards software and development of IP in geospatial industry.
So when you started, you found this area of interest. You wanted to go to technology based. You were from civil engineering. So how you find this interesting, like switching from your main domain where you have worked for 15 years. So how hard was it?
Well, the interesting thing to note here is that geospatial is a subset of a civil engineering. So when I say civil engineering, you see the large projects which are linear in nature, requires a lot of geographical information. And over the period of time, the complexity of projects have increased, and there are audacious plans by various countries to have mega projects. So in a way, I would thank my university, where geospatial technology was part of the civil engineering, and we studied, and I found it really interesting. And along with my other co-founder, his name is Amar Chaturvedi, he was my batchmate there. Envisaged that this technology should be taken to various industries, and there are other use cases apart from civil engineering where this technology can contribute a lot. And with this idea, we started Transerve.
So the initial goal was to use the location services and made them as a product for your Transerve technologies. So what are the use cases of Transerve technologies product?
So let me just begin by some of the use cases that are more popular these days. For example, let's talk about a retail chain. So we have a lot of retail brands available in India, and more are coming, and the sector is attracting investment. But one of the major facts for retail, any retail chain, is to find out the right location, find out the right set of people who visit the area where they want to set up their retail store. And third is the right catalog for the people who are visiting, right? Considering the parameters like socioeconomic demographics, the human mobility data, the geographic data set like availability of roads, metros, transportation system, considering all those factors together, we can help the retail store chains to create a most appropriate catalog for their customers and figure out like what sort of people with what kind of purchase power would come to this particular place if a retail chain comes up in that location. So this is one of the most common use case. Generally, we call it as a site selection or site suitability study. So any retail business would need these two things before they go for an investment. The good part about the mobile phone penetration, which has increased manifold in the last few years, has contributed a lot to the geospatial data sets, because every mobile phone has now become a sensor on ground or a GPS sensor on ground, giving constant feed. So that location, along with other secondary data set, maybe data sets like the Google, the data set like Hair Maps, or the data set which other companies in this space are producing, can be combined together to have more meaningful results.
So how do Transerve cater to the requirement of customers? What do you offer to your customers? Like,
Well,
you have the data or they provide you the data? How you analyze the data?
Well, the larger goal of Transerve is to enable the customers to handle their own data sets the way they want. And that's why we decided to bring a SaaS product into the market, where we'll allow our customers to upload their data, and the system itself will take care of the data integration with whatever data sets we provide or they would need from us. We give them tools to clean the data also, because the data has a lot of noise at times. And it is our constant endeavor to create the machine learning and AI tools which could analyze the data for the customer without customer being trained in data analytics. So at least the basic level of insights should be able to, your platform should be able to generate for the customer. And then we'll hand over, or the system platform will hand over more sophisticated tools to arrive more meaning out of the data. So we promote this technology with the vision that the first party data, which is essentially the customer data, the second party data are the data providers, and whatever derived data products we have should all get combined together onto our platform.
So how do you manage the data security, or do you use the more personal data of any customer, or you just use location services?
Well, for all the use cases that we have, we do not need personal information of any individual. All the data which generally is used, or are data sets which are generally used for such applications, are anonymized data sets. And it would be like extremely difficult to triangulate someone's identity out of that data. Or I would say it is virtually impossible to triangulate anyone's identity. So data security, I mean, apart from the personal information, though we are not storing it, but data security has always been a big worry for everyone, and especially players like us.
Yes.
And a lot of our investment in terms of development, in terms of maintaining the security aspect and measures goes into data security and privacy. And we take care of all the standards to ensure that the client's data, and not just client's data, but our data should also remain secure on our servers.
So how do Transerve collect data and analyze these points? Do you, like you have mentioned, AI as well? So do you do any kind of data scraping, or how do you get the data to analyze?
Well, there are many ways to arrange for data. One is to create data on your own. And luckily, nowadays, the data which is being made available by the government is available on various websites maintained by government. But that data cannot be ingested directly. It needs some level of curation so that it can be ingested directly. So we have taken data from all the publicly available open source data sets, and we have refined them, curated them, and create the derivative data products. So I'll give you a few examples on the derived data product. One popular product that we have is called affluence grids. So we have mapped the India in form of hexagonal grids, and every grid has been assigned an index number, which tells us what is the affluence score of that particular area. Similarly, we have risk grids, which tells us what is the risk propensity or risk to default in a particular area. So those data sets have been derived from the existing publicly available open source data. Apart from that, we are collecting human mobility data, which is the anonymized pings of our smartphones through various apps. And there are data aggregators who take those data set from the various apps, and definitely it has a user consent because we provide consent to our mobile phones to share our anonymized location. And we take that location and analyze the movement of people on the ground. So let's say if there's a stretch of road and I want to open up a gas station or a highway amenity, I should know what sort of people visit at what time. So I can figure out like what should be the timing of my store or roadside amenity or highway amenity. I should know what sort of vehicle pass through so that I can forecast how much revenue would I going to generate if I invest in a gas station on this particular highway at a location.
That are just application of you mentioned site location.
Yes.
If someone wants to open a franchise, then they can use your product to forecast how many customers they are going to visit at the discussed location, I guess.
Yes, yes. So there is always a conversion factor. So if, let's say, if we can find out that the movement of people in an hour in a particular location is X, so we can take a factor of, let's say, 1%, that 1% would be the turnaround or turn-ins into their store. And accordingly, appropriate models can be built in to predict the revenue.
So, can you tell about the clients which you are offering your services to right now, Ashwani?
So currently we are offering our services and our technology to 13 different verticals. I'm not sure how much I can share the information about each individual client because we all usually have NDAs signed with them. But I can give you some of the use cases in various industries. One of the largest use cases in banking sector. Surprisingly, banks have become more tech savvy. They realize the power of location intelligence, and banking is a very competitive space. Every bank wants to know how many businesses are running in a particular area. They want to target more and more business to open up their account. They want to know what is the visitation pattern at a car dealer showroom. So accordingly, they can depute their professionals to target customers to disburse more auto loans. So these are some of the application areas in the banking sector. Similarly, in insurance, now every insurance company has become digital. You don't have to, give them the physical records. Everything happens digitally. You go to their site and then fill your details, and accordingly, and immediately you'll get the policy upon payment of premium. But these insurance companies wants to still understand that if you are coming from a certain geography, would like to assess the area. And I'll give you an beautiful example in this industry. IRDAI, which is the regulatory authority in insurance sector, has issued a list of almost 3,000 PIN codes, which are either blocked, means blacklisted, or are negative. So they usually tell that these are the risky grids or risky PIN codes. Their insurance company should be mindful while selling the insurance products. But these 3,000 PIN codes are in the urban areas, and urban areas effectively in India has 10,000 PIN codes, means 3,000 PIN codes we have painted with the same color. In India, the PIN code size is huge. A lot of people live in a PIN code. So we can't exclude everyone because of some historical frauds and claims in the entire PIN code. So these insurance companies are now interested in micro-zonation of these PIN codes to find out that what are the green areas in those PIN codes, so that at least they can target those areas and leave behind the red ones.
So how hyperlocal can Transerve go?
Hyperlocal is something which we are really, really excited about these days. And one beautiful example that I can give you today is the quickest delivery, which most of the e-commerce industry is trying to achieve. The timeline is of essence in today's scenario. Everyone wants to deliver as fast as possible, as quickly as possible, and customer also wants as quickly as possible. So when I say hyperlocal, in our terms, we always try to generate the data set which can basically take a logistic company to the doorstep of our consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So people always talk about the last mile connectivity. What we in Transerve is talking about is last meter connectivity. Means that the data set that we have created or that we have curated within Transerve are highly accurate. So if, let's say, you search an address on our maps or on our platform, the location of an address would take you to the doorstep of the consumer. Now imagine a scenario, let's say in Delhi or Mumbai, where societies have become very large. There are a lot of towers with complex architecture. Usually what happens is a delivery boy comes or delivery person comes to the society gate. He or she has to make multiple calls to figure out the location of your flat. And a lot of time get wasted during figuring out where exactly the doorstep of a consumer is.
So the time the location is not accurate. Yes, the challenge.
Right. So we are trying to solve. In fact, we have solved that problem when it comes to the hyperlocal space. So we are extremely hyperlocal. Probably, I would say we are. We could generate few meters of data on the ground and present with our capability.
Because you process all the mobile data of customer, and that's why you are able to get the location of the hyperlocal apps which customer is using.
Yes, but we work a lot on that data, and it's an expensive proposition to process such data sets.
I think this is very complex because when you see a high-rise tower, there are so many families living under one location. So I think that is a commendable job if you have figured this out, that where the delivery boy has to go on first floor or second floor or anywhere else. So I guess.
Yes. So our idea is that the delivery boy or person should not interact with the customer and should directly reach to the doorstep. So it will save time for the consumer. It will save time for the delivery person because the person can make more number of deliveries and earn more. And obviously for e-commerce industry, it will generate more business.
Yeah, obviously when the moving parts are less, then obviously the productivity will rise.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I see there are so many challenges in India when it came to SaaS. So how do you penetrate Indian market as you have international customers as well? So what do you find more challenging in India?
Well, there are many challenges in India, and the first few I would like to list here is the adoption of technology is still very less. Though we envisage that it would be much faster, and then there have been like beautiful reports in the past which claim that adoption would be really, really fast, but it has not happened so. That's a sad part of the story. And the second is the heterogeneity in India. So India is not a planned country as such. You go to a city and you find different challenges. Some of the cities are extremely dense. Some of the cities do not have the roads mapped. Some of the cities will not have the areas demarcated properly. So these challenges always are hard to overcome, though we try our best to update our data sets and to build more and better algorithms so that we should know the location of every asset or every house or every premise on the ground, so that our consumer as well as the industry should be able to more efficiently operate on the ground. So these are the two major challenges. One large challenge which was there until Feb 2021 was the geospatial policy, which government of India relaxed. So now the companies like us can share the data on cloud and provide to wider audience. So the liberalization of policy helped us. But despite the liberalization, the adoption has not increased much. So the companies like us have to really invest a lot in creating the use cases and to showcase the value add that we this technology can bring in for the country. And another main challenge which I would like to highlight is this medium and small scale in the sector. They are still not so tech savvy, and it will take some time for them to adopt such technologies. And SaaS, well, I don't know what should I say about it. Is it a cultural issue, or is the mindset, or it's something else? Well, I myself have not been able to crack that perfectly. But moving forward, I believe that mobile penetration, the adoption of cloud, and digitalization would definitely help SaaS to grow in India.
Because I have seen this with other founders as well. They are also facing the same challenge, that people are inclined to buy 800 rupees Netflix product, but they are not inclined to purchase any subscription which is productivity based. So
absolutely, it will remain a challenge. I think it's just a mindset, and it'll take some time to change in Indian market.
So Ashwani, anything else you would like to share with our audience from your personal experience?
Yes, well, working in India was a beautiful journey, though there were more challenges than successes, I would say, compared to the clients we have worked outside India. But one positive thing that I have seen working in this part of the world was the number of challenges that we faced. We became more efficient, we became more productive. And I believe that if you could solve a problem in India, you can solve similar sort of issues anywhere in the world. It's a highly heterogeneous, highly complex and challenging environment. And it's a very dense environment when it comes to geospatial data sets as well. So we are satisfied, we are happy that we have done it for India. Now we are full on going to the other parts of the developed world. And we believe that we can definitely do much better what we have done so far in India.
Best wishes for your future endeavors. And I would like to congratulate on your achievements as well. So that you have penetrated a country where the expertise and the tech savviness is not that much. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, Ajay.
And I would like to know more about the goals or your future goals as well. Like what you are planning to do in India.
Yeah, so currently we are looking towards West, and we want to become more aggressive, and we are creating data sets for other countries like US, UK, Canada, and some of the European countries. Currently, we are in talks with investors also to raise more money and to grow the company at a much faster pace, since we have already proven the technology in India. Hopefully, by the end of next year or the current year, we would have presence in all the major countries across the globe.
Okay, wonderful. So, Ashwani, let's conclude this interaction here, and we will like to be a part of your journey as well, and would like to invite you once more or whenever you are available for any more interactions, because it was a very wonderful experience talking to you.
Same here, Ajay, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of Founder Talks.